Star Wars Squadrons. Is it worth a buy? Let's read the words of the developer. Master the art of starfighter combat and the authentic piloting experience, Star Wars Squadrons. Feel the adrenaline as you try in vain to get your fucking HOTAS to work, but hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a fucking song for me, he's one. Hey, you got an achievement. Yeah, it's a console game. A console game. Feel the adrenaline of first-person multiplayer space dogfights alongside your squadron and buckle up in a thrilling Star Wars story. Guys, let's just cut to the chase. Let's start with the options, guys. There's a ton of them. A ton of them for graphical options. There's a ton of them for VR options. An absolute plethora of control options and game kind of setup options. There's loads of I wish all games were like this as far as the options go. 10 out of 10 for the options. Graphically it's alright. It's not fantastic. Sometimes some of the models look like Airfix models. They don't look real, and in VR it looks awful for me anyway. It just looked blurry. The skybox was just looks like a very low res JPEG just sitting there. Yeah, nothing to see at all in VR. Some people are saying that it's the best thing in the world in VR, but you're always going to get that, and maybe it is for them, but for me it was just... I was really looking forward to playing this in VR, but it's so bad that I've played through the entire campaign in pancake mode, flat screen. It ran well as well. I was getting very good frames per second when I took VSync off. I mean, I keep VSync on for recording purposes, but when I take it off, it flies up into the 200s. I've got everything on Ultra, so I've got zero complaints about how the game actually ran. Absolutely fine graphically. Where the game absolutely falls flat on its face is the support for HOTAS. It's just atrocious. It's like a lottery. Some people have exactly the same HOTAS as me with no problem at all. I've got an X52 Pro. For me, it's just you can't play because it has a massive dead zone. I've already covered this in a video, and there's still no patch for it. There has been a patch for the game, but all that did was stop you from putting in your own name because obviously it was offending some snowflakes. Speaking of all of that bullshit, the single player campaign is a forced woke pile of shit. The characters are an absolute joke. I actually woke up this morning cackling with laughter when I thought of the actual squadron of the Rebel Alliance that you have to play all the way through the campaign. The campaign, it's 10 hours and you play two squadrons, one on the Empire, one on the Rebels. The Rebel... Well, I'm laughing again just thinking about it. I'm laughing because, guys, I know people had to sit round a table in Electronic Arts and discuss this, and they have decided that they think this collection of characters is the best thing to put in for the Rebel Alliance. And I have to fucking laugh at that. I can't help it. It's just... I'm sick of people pushing their narratives, their own personal political narratives, against the grain of what actually the subject is. And this subject is Star Wars. And when you look at Star Wars, what it was, George Lucas, I'm not talking about Mickey fucking Mouse's Star Wars. I'm on about the proper Star Wars, the George Lucas Star Wars. And this narrative that's been pushed in this game is f*** all like George Lucas's Star Wars. So, there you go.
It's a gamble, but it's better than no chance at all. When those missiles hit us back at the dockyards, I thought the Temperance was done for. Full shields, and they still almost tore us apart. But we got Teresa and Titan Squadron to chase us, instead of destroying Nadiri for good. That's what matters. Our next steps are unclear, like walking into fog. Better get to the briefing room.
The campaign, aside from the absolutely awful characters and story, has 14 missions, probably split evenly between the Rebels and the Empire. A lot of them are just kind of samey, pretty, but it's almost like a tutorial of how you play each ship, really, that's what it is. Pretty much zero replayability, which is a big shame. If you're expecting XV TIE Fighter, you're not going to get it with the actual story. Some of the missions I did have fun, some of them looked very spectacular as well, but they were few and far between, unfortunately. What I did like was getting into the different crafts with the different loadouts, and honestly, the best thing about this game is how they've done the actual flying. apart from the bugs with the HOTAS system. I'm just talking about the ship setups. You've got full control over everything that you need. It's a bit like Elite Dangerous in that respect. You can put power to engines, shields or lasers. You've got different loadouts and missiles, bombs, shields. You can call in support as well. There's a lot of stuff that you can be doing from inside the cockpit of whatever ship that you do. It's got all your favourites there, well, most of them anyway. On the Alliance side, you've got the A-Wings, which are really fast and nimble, but very, very lightly armoured. You've obviously got your X-Wings, your Y-Wings, and things like that. The Empire has the TIE Fighters, TIE Bombers. It also has TIE Interceptors, and I've forgotten the name of it, a Reaper, I think it is, which is a really nice support ship that you can actually play. Now, if you're just into the single-player aspect, you've got a 10-hour campaign with 14 missions and bot matches, so you don't have to do PvP against other players. You can go in and create a bot match, which is nice if you don't want to do PvP. But I think this game is the main thing of this game. The selling point of this game is the PvP. It's that's where it's at with this game. And unfortunately, the PvP is a bit of a disaster. It's 5v5. Two game modes of 5v5. I mean, what? Is that the best you can do? 2 game modes of 5v5. One where it's just like dogfight, and the other one where they put in there's a couple of capital ships, and I mean a couple. You know, that's it. A couple of capital ships, and then your PvP 5v5. I mean, that's it. Boredom. Absolute boredom. I mean, doing the same thing. I know it's only £34. It's not a full price £50 game, this. But my goodness, guys. I thought they had a little bit more scope to put stuff like... Well, where's 20v20? Where's 20v20? I'm sure the fanboys will tell me why we can't have that. So there you go, guys. I'm giving this a 6 out of 10. It's just scraped over from the thumb down to the thumb up, and that's purely because I did have some fun on some of the battles. It did bring the X-Wing v TIE Fighter vibes back, and I'm sure with the right patching and the right content, this could end up being a really good PvP game. The campaign, the single player campaign, is non-replayable pretty much. The characters and the story are awful. The characters don't even belong anywhere near a fucking Star Wars universe. In fact, they're just like wooden mannequins with mouths. They're like ventriloquist dolls just standing there, soulless, personalityless, just saying stupid one-liners that just make no fucking sense at all. They're there purely for politics. The writers of this game, in my opinion, don't give a fuck about Star Wars. They don't care about Star Wars lore. They don't give a shit. It's like George Lucas's Star Wars never even existed. It's, hey, look, this is our politics. This is our narrative. There it is. Rammed down your throats. Fucking like it. Me, I'd rather go into the cow's field opposite my house and forcibly put my head up the nearest heifer's fucking ring piece than actually have to play through this campaign again. That's how bad it is. As for the PvP, like I've already said, 5v5, 2 different modes, that's not enough. That's just not enough. That's getting bored and getting old very, very quickly. But, like I said, we're hoping that we're going to get more game modes coming. We certainly need the game patching. It's scraped across the line. Only just, but quite disappointing, I have to say.